I'm Matt Rojansky, director of the Wilson Center's Kennan Institute. We're here together tonight to celebrate a major milestone in the history of the Kennan Institute, of the Wilson Center, and our joint effort to bring together scholars and policy practitioners in Washington, D.C. Since I'm reliably informed by social media that 45 is the new 30, I might say we've only just hit our stride. In fact, last year the Wilson Center celebrated its 50th birthday, and this year the Kennan Institute turns 45. Of course, my 3-, 6-, and 8-year-old kids would say that makes us officially old. But I would prefer to say that we are one of Washington's venerable and distinguished institutions in the very prime of our life. I'm reminded of the Wilson Center's grand memorial hallway, which many of you may have found by accident after wandering through the Ronald Reagan building, where after passing beneath quotations from Woodrow Wilson's famous speeches that are chiseled in marble and his famous pointy-nosed profile, you know what I'm talking about, we stop in the lobby and see a more modern sign informing us that unlike the other physical landmarks in Washington, the center is a living memorial, or as I've heard the center described, a monument for people, not pigeons. I've always loved that turn of phrase. Speaking of distinguished service, we're joined tonight by some very special guests. Congressman Peter Welch, Ambassador Aylin Suleimanov of Azerbaijan, many distinguished former U.S. ambassadors in the room, who I couldn't possibly all single out in all of them. But I do want to recognize 3 very special friends of the Kennan Institute, all of whom have served as U.S. Ambassador to Russia. John Teft, John Byerly, and Jim Collins, all of whom are with us tonight. And I want to acknowledge those of us this evening, those who are with us this evening who are literally in the family. We're joined by 2 of George Kennan's children, Grace and Joan. George's son Chris sends his regards from New York, where he's snowed in. And we're joined by Jim Billington's wife, Marjorie, and their children, Tom and Susan. And finally, we're joined by Fred Starr. Tonight we pay tribute to 3 great scholars, thinkers, and doers who together created the Kennan Institute. They perceived a national need for better scholarship on Russian history and culture so that we might have better policy. They then took action to create an enduring institution that has improved this nation's capacity to understand and engage with Russia, Ukraine, and the wider Eurasian region. Later this evening, we'll learn more about these extraordinary individuals who to this day inspire and inform our work in so many ways. Now that's why we're here. As to how we got here, that is made possible through the financial support that not only makes possible fancy dinners like this, but more importantly, the work we do at the Kennan Institute year in and year out. I first want to acknowledge this evening's main sponsor, Susan Carmel. Susan has been a great friend to the Kennan Institute and will speak later this evening about Jim Billington. Susan, thank you for your support for this event and all you do to sustain Russian-American cultural exchange. I especially want to recognize Diana Davis Spencer. Diana's mother, Catherine W. Davis, established underwriting support for the Davis Dinner in 2007. Over the past 12 years, during Catherine's life and through her legacy gift, that support played a crucial role in sustaining the Kennan Institute and expanding our capabilities at a critical point for U.S. national security and relations with Russia, Ukraine, and the region. Likewise, support from the Diana Davis Spencer Foundation has been instrumental in enabling us to increase our impact through connecting Kennan experts with new media and policy audiences here in Washington and across the country. In short, Catherine, Diana, and the Davis family can truly be counted as re-founders of the Kennan Institute. They have kept us going strong for more than a decade, giving new life to the founding vision of the Kennan Institute in the 21st century. And as important as their support for the Kennan Institute has been, it's only part of what they do. Think, for example, of the Davis Center for Russian and Eurasian Studies at Harvard, of which I'm an alum, proudly, and the many endowed professorships and many, many institutions and individuals who've received their support over the years. They have done all of this in the interest of a better educated, more globally aware, and more secure United States of America. So I would ask that you all please join me in thanking Diana, her daughter Abby Moffett, and the Davis family for their extraordinary commitment and contributions to our nation. Thank you. We're now a full 4 days past Thanksgiving, which I hope means we're all starting to feel hungry once again, and judging by the clanking forks, I think that's true. I hope you all enjoy your meal, which I promise is not leftover turkey sandwiches, and we'll be back with the main program in time for coffee.